Good flipping afternoon, everybody. It's another episode of Afternoon Color Commentary with yours truly on the host, Color. I'm here for the afternoon. Couldn't make it this morning. Had to go run some more errands for some medical reasons. So that out of the way, now I'm here to talk to you. I'm going to talk to you about the Arizona-Miami game. Arizona coming into Miami on Sunday. We're going to talk about what we can do to win this game. Tua cleared to play. Finally finished the concussion protocol, and it looks like our playmakers are ready to finally perform. We'll see if we can believe them. Coming up next.
Just having Tua back will get us back, man. Like having Tua back, man. He's a big part of this team, bro. He's the franchise, dog. And anybody that doesn't see that or doesn't believe it, like go to another team.
Go to another team. Anybody who doesn't believe that, go to another team. Okay. Which one do you suggest? I'll wait, Tyreek. Which one do you suggest? The one you just came from? The one you would have went to if they'd have paid you more money? Who else should join us going to that other team? Let's talk about who should join us going to that other team. Before I do that, hit the like button, everybody. Welcome to the channel. I don't even know where to begin with that. I really don't even know where to begin with that. So while I'm gathering my thoughts on what I heard Tyreek say yesterday, make sure you're hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel, and if you're over on Twitter, Twitch, or any other platform, come over and subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you know when Color's going live, because I don't even know anymore. It's day to day these days, people. I mean, especially with the way our team is and the way our schedules can be in the NFL. What do you guys think? I've got the poll in the chat right now. I'm tired of telling people when I'm going to be on and when I'm not going to be on, and then having to do the opposite or having to take a day or whatever. When do you guys prefer to hear your color? In the morning? You like having coffee and a cup of color? Now, keep in mind, I know that a lot of times I'll start in the morning and go all day, but I can't always do that. Uh, so, it's going to have to be either or both throughout the week. So I don't want to, those people that like get bored in their job in the afternoon, you shouldn't be bored anyway. You should be doing your job. But for all them people that get bored on their job, I understand the afternoon. You're like, yeah, color, man, something to listen to. Even if I can't stand what he's saying, it's something to listen to. And then there's people in the morning like, man, I can't get started without hearing something color talk about the Dolphins. And I also get a little antsy sometimes when I don't have anything to do in the morning and I'm like, I got to start talking. Plus, there's that vacuum that must be filled that we all know was locked down by Stephen D. Y'all loved him. Everybody's like, where's Stephen D? I can't, me and Stephen D ain't on that level. I can't tell you anything about that. And I can't make it. All I can do is talk to you in his stead. I can only ever hope to emulate. So the poll question for today, because I need some information. This is information gathering. This is how you do science, people. How do you prefer color? Morning coffee and color? Afternoon color commentary? Or beg Stephen D to come back? 11 of you have already voted. Y'all are funny. I love you. But I will. I ain't I ain't afraid to beg. But you gotta give us way more likes than 6 for me to even dare try to start begging Stephen D to come back. Yeah, I know he did, Nene. He's probably don't have time. Only 11 of you have voted so far, so the results are skewed. I'll let it go a little while. I need a good sample size. Get your vote in. Hit the like button on the way to voting. And make sure you're visiting TFTGnetwork.com to visit our website. Bookmark it. Make it your homepage. You can get to all of our content from that website, of course, and the TFTG shop. Once I get my my password reset for my new email account, you guys can also start to reach me at Colorcom. That's Colorcom at TFTGnetwork.com. Show requests, insults, whatever you want to send me through email. I don't usually use email that much, but it is an avenue for you to get right to us, right to me for any suggestions or thoughts or, whatever you want to say. That'll be colorcom at tftgnetwork.com. Some of the other guys are taking advantage of the email. They will tell you theirs as they come along. But we got email now. Real email. Thank you, Shekel. I'll go ahead and say hi to a couple of you in chat. Usually everybody. I'm obsessive, so I'll end up saying hi to everybody. Aquavision, the first one in chat. How you doing? Chef Jew, the ambassador, and of course Shake Money, who will be going this evening at 7 o'clock for the drive time. Make sure you're hanging around with us. 4 hours from now, it's in all likelihood. You know how things go around here. I might still be streaming by then, in which case I'll redirect you all over there. Anyway, we'll give them a good raid if I end up going that long. Not much to really talk about. A pretty simple game coming up. We know what we got to do. We just got to show up. We just got to execute our game. We know how we win. We win any way, any which way that needs to be to win. That's how we win. Good morning, or good afternoon, Nene. Dakota, the delusional Jets fan. Pretty cool Jets fan. What's up, Lance? Lance up in here. Let's see. Not many more. Shekel saying hi. Day one. What's up, day one? EM Dolphin fan. How you doing, M? That's extra medicated Dolphin fan for all of your medicinal needs. Say hi to EM. What's up, Red, White, and Bills? So, I mean, I just don't even know where to begin with this Tyreek Hill statement. I mean, really, bro. You know, you're not going to convince me Tyreek Hill is a 2-and-ear. What's up, John Featherland? Chiming in from over in my neck of the woods. Well, somewhat. But you're not going to convince me that Tyreek Hill is a 2-and-ear. But that is that's like straight out of the 2-and-ear handbook right there. Oh, you don't believe in Tua? Go find another team. Well, do I really have to sit Tyreek Hill down and explain to him the difference between belief and hope? So I'm not allowed to be a Miami Dolphin fan. According to Tyreek Hill, I should say, it is Tyreek Hill's suggestion after the organization took $1,800 from me, or I should say I gave it to them freely, to give me tickets for every game this season. They make me walk from practically the next city over from my parking spot to get to the stadium. No, he didn't say believe in the team. He said, if you don't believe Tua is the franchise. That's what he said. Tua is the franchise. And if you don't believe that, go to another team. That's what he said. The only reason it bothers me is because he acts as if this organization believes in Tua. So should Stephen Ross go to another team? Just asking for a friend. Should Chris Greer go to another team? They're the ones that don't believe in Tua. See, I do believe in the team. In the team. Not Tua individually. I don't believe in him. But I believe in him as part of the team. Yeah. Do I believe he's the franchise? He is the franchise? Well, no, I don't believe he should be. And neither does Stephen Ross or Chris Greer. Believe in what? Now, I have more belief than others that the season ain't over. Should they go find another team? I had belief that a Tyreek Hill, having Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and all these superstars on our team, I was of the belief that that was quarterback independent. I might have been wrong. Maybe I'm not. I still don't think I am. And if he's telling me I should believe that, then he's the problem. He's saying to me that he can't function without Tua. Because everything around what he said in that interview was telling me that he don't believe in himself apart from Tua. Oh, I know. I know. You lost it in the lights. I know, Tyreek. You lost it in the lights. I know, Waddle. The sun was in your eyes. But that's not true, Broward boy. The organization does not believe in Tua. That's a platitude that Tua's fans believe in. That is not true. And if it is true, then they're idiots. Right, but Broward, that's the failure of the team. That's what I'm trying to say. That's precisely why I'm glad you're asking these questions, by the way. Don't think I'm coming at you. I think they're very pertinent questions and statements. What's up, Marino's goat? But that's precisely the reason for the title of today's show. Tua cleared to play, and the stars are cleared to perform. Isn't that great, ladies and gentlemen? All of our stars are authorized and cleared to do their thing, to do what you do your stuff. Give it a go. All of our stars are cleared to perform. Hallelujah. Church is in session. I believe now. Oh, I believe. Good morning, a good afternoon, Stephen Daniels. I see you too. And yes, I was trying to conjure you up, man. As you can see by the poll results, I've been dying in the mornings, bro, compared to you. What can I say, man? I mean, it's showbiz. If I can't be honest with myself, I don't belong in showbiz. 27 people voted. That's not near enough of a sample size for me to announce the results quite yet. But it seems to be about you and I are about 33% morning, afternoon, or you. So, yo, I mean, you ain't got to, dude. If I know you ain't got the time. I heard, by the way, Stephen D. Good to see you. I'm being sincere here. I heard that some, kind of some rumors about what you've been doing with yourself lately, and I think that's really awesome. And I know it's very time consuming. So, look, man, all you got to do is talk, bro. We're here for you. All you need is a couple hours free time to talk, bro, and you ain't got to do one single thing but turn on the camera and show that microphone you got, man. Just let us know. We are your gymnasium, bro. So, yeah, and you know how things go behind the scenes. It's all up to the person talking as far as any compensation goes. So glad to see you and let you know we're always here for you, buddy. And congratulations if the rumors are true. Um, that being said, everybody say hi to Stephen D. Let him know. Let him know how much you miss him. But part of the question is too is that of the poll question is that look, sometimes I have a really hard time making it at 10 o'clock. Like we go hard here at the tailgate on Sundays, especially if I go to the games. And to set myself up at 10 o'clock in the morning on Monday for, win or lose, the energy that I have to put in at 10 o'clock on Monday. It's been like last Monday, I didn't get you got an afternoon color commentary because I just didn't have it in me to go at 10 o'clock. Other days I'm way more better to go at 10 o'clock in the morning. But like even today is a Friday. I have to do a show. Thursday, there ain't nothing to talk about. Obviously, you guys can miss me if I had to miss Thursdays, but I can't miss Friday. So it's either I make it by 10 o'clock or I do an afternoon color commentary like I am now. But I don't know what you guys prefer because I've been noticing different numbers from the morning to the afternoon. Seems like there's a little few more of you that have the opportunity to listen in the afternoon. Maybe you stomach me better in the afternoon. Who knows what it is? I'm doing all right in the morning, and there's plenty of you that need me there. But I notice a lot of the people that come around in the morning regularly are also hanging around throughout the afternoon. So those are the people that are usually morning, noon, and night internet people. So they're going to come around anyway. But if I'm just kind of missing the boat anyway, and it takes a guy like Stephen D in the morning to get you all riled up and excited and wanting to watch something, then, we certainly have the platform to make it easy for him to do. But I'll keep trying. It's probably more like maybe I'll figure it out. Like, Mondays will always be afternoon. Tuesdays I can usually always do the morning. Wednesday, likewise. Wednesday seems to turn into an all-day affair no matter when I start. So Wednesday might just be the long stream day. Not even for fan weekend, huh? That's all right. We'll see you when you get there, whenever it is. But Thursday, if I'm going to promise anything on Thursday for sure, then I'm only going to be able to promise afternoons. Just because Thursday is just so, unless Tyreek goes out and says things like he did yesterday, there really ain't nothing to talk about. Everything else is just drumming up drama, which y'all like it too, I know. So maybe I'll just continue to play it by ear, but the problem is, as you all know, YouTubers are not very good that play it by ear. Y'all like consistency, and that's just the way it is. You want to be able to know that when it's 1 o'clock and I want to hear Culler, that's exactly when I expect him. So I understand that aspect of it too. So that's the reason for the poll. I want to try to know that, hey, this is the time frame I want to focus on while realizing that football is football and football fans are a little more understanding about consistency because you all go hard on Sundays too. So let's be real, I'm not, it's not like we're all in the same boat. So I figure so far it's been working out. But if there's anybody out there getting aggravated by having to always never knowing exactly when I'll be on, you got a poll to let me know. That all being said, yeah, Tyreek, bro, just leave out the part about believing because your own organization didn't believe in him. Maybe they do now. Maybe the organization changed their minds. Maybe they became convinced. Okay, fine, but I haven't. And I shouldn't be told by a guy that we're paying $30 million to after I just had $1,800 sent to this organization for my tickets, get treated like dog crap, okay? And then to have a $30 million player, take it easy, Steven, to have a $30 million player tell me if I don't believe in that the quarterback is the franchise, that Tua is the franchise. If I don't believe that, I should find another team. Well, okay, that's fine, Tyreek. So I'll go ahead and email Stephen Ross to see if he can forward the rest of my money to whatever team I decide I want to be a fan of, and we can switch out my tickets. Is that fair? I'm sure he's got a phone. He's got a phone line to Shad or the guy over in Tampa. Oh, I'm sure he's got a phone right to them. Hey, yo, I got a fan here that wants to switch teams. Can I transfer over his tickets to y'all? How dare he? Hey, how about this, Tyreek? If you don't like the way the cops treat you in Miami, move to another city. Go to another city. How about that one? Should I turn it up more? If you don't believe in the way law enforcement is done in Miami-Dade County, go to another city. See, everybody can play that game about every issue. You want to make this church? Let's make it church. You want to make this some kind of collective where we all have to think the same way and believe the same things? Or else we don't get to wear the colors and the badge? Okay. Well, if you don't believe in the way law enforcement is done in Miami-Dade, go to another county. Don't feel very good to hear that, does it? A county you've been giving millions to this county. You've been helping this county make millions by being here. Well, if you don't believe in the way they do law enforcement, leave. I don't know what to tell you about the money you lost. That was your choice. That's what I'm told. It was my choice to be a sucker and buy season tickets. We'd love to have you up here in Palm Beach County. I'm sure they'd treat you much better than Miami-Dade. Oh yeah, oh yeah, believe that. Hit the like button, everybody. We'll move on. Apparently, our players find it apropos now to go ahead and play to the best of their ability because now that everything is sharper and more accurate, and two is back, now we can do our jobs. Good. I'm glad. We'll see. Like I said, we're back to Buffalo loss, right? We'll forget the last 4 games. How about that? Fine. We'll forget all about them. Y'all sucked against Buffalo. How are we going to fix what y'all did against Buffalo? What are you going to do to fix that, Tyreek? What's Tua going to do to fix what we saw in Buffalo against Buffalo? Because the next game is Arizona. And then we got to face Buffalo again. So what are we going to do to fix what y'all did against Buffalo? Please tell us. We just going to get Tua back? Is that it? We got Tua back? That's the answer to everything? How you going to stop the ball from getting lost in the lights, Tyreek? Oh, Tua back going to fix that? That might work in our favor, though, Jose, because we're a fast twitch pass rush. So that could actually work against us if with Kyler being faster twitch than we are. It might benefit us to not go after him so heavy. He won't feel the need to squirt out of the pocket. We want Kyler to stay in the pocket and throw the ball. We want him to beat us with his arm from the pocket, though, because he'll beat us with his arm on the outside. No doubt about that. He'll Russell Wilson us to death. That's fine. We don't have a pass rush. You know, I mean, I know that sounds counterintuitive, but all he does is break pass rushers' ankles. Good afternoon, Cosa Nostra. This thing that is ours. Or this thing that we have. Or something to that effect. From what I understand. It's an old Italian saying. And I'm reaching, Jose. I'm reaching. I know you. I might sound right, but I'm still reaching. Maybe it'll invite him to just stay put a little more. You know, maybe we'll get lucky there. Because I don't think he could beat us with his arm from the pocket. He's got a lot of the same problems Tua does in that respect, and even magnified more because he's about 4 inches shorter. Except for the fact that the dude is ripped. He can throw like he's got a fast twitch arm. Like he can throw without much body mechanic. He can throw pretty deep. That's why he can do it from all platforms. Then again, I just don't know how humid it's going to be tomorrow either. It's supposed to be one of your drier days because it's fall here in South Florida. It's not going to be quite as humid. So it's going to be a lot more like their weather. And he can run around all day like Mighty Mouse in that weather. All he needs to do is keep pumping water in himself, and it'd be fine. It's going to be a day, I'm assuming, much like today. The weather pattern shouldn't change much from what it's like out today. Although today is kind of humid. Yeah, and of course the news, as y'all are talking about, I see Zach Sealer out for the game, I believe. Got poked in the eye in practice, and I guess I don't know if he's in concussion protocol, but that's what put Teron Armstead in the concussion protocol, was getting poked in the eye. So I don't know. Yeah, we just, really the key to this game for our defense is going to be bend, don't break. Obviously, we're going to have to find a way to keep them out of the end zone. That's going to be really hard, given that Kyler can pretty much walk in anytime he wants. Our end zone, our goal line is going to be like the 15-yard line. We can't let him get past the 15-yard line. 15 to 15. We can let them have everything else in between there. If they're kicking field goals all day, hey, look, our game is dependent first and foremost on whether the offense decides they want to fix all of what we saw from the last 10 games. If they don't do that, it don't matter what our defense does, to be honest with you, because obviously in order to help this defense in this game, we're going to have to keep the ball out of Kyler Murray's hands. We're going to have to keep Kyler Murray off the field, period. And one of the ways to do that is not really our strong suit, except that we might be able to take the chance if we can get these guys rocking in the pass game. We can get out ahead quickly, score quickly, and then start with the long running play drives, which we have demonstrated without Tua that have finally got a little movement on. We're going to have to win the time of possession again, because Kyler Murray is going to make every bit out of every second he's on that field with the ball. There is no quitting the guy. I don't believe in Kyler Murray as a quarterback. So if I was an Arizona Cardinal fan and Tyreek was one of their wide receivers, he would be telling me to find another team because I don't believe in Kyler Murray either. But one of the things I do know that Kyler Murray can do is not give up. He will not quit. There is no quit in Kyler Murray. He's one of those guys, because of his short legs and him having to take extra steps to be as badass as he is with his running ability. He's going to go and go and go full speed and then quit. There's going to be no drop off for Kyler Murray. It's going to be go full speed and then stop. He's like a little Yorkshire Terrier or something where it's like, 17 years old and they still act like a puppy, and then just quit. I mean, that's Kyler, he's always, as long as he's playing the game, he's going to be a threat. He just doesn't have some of the other abilities and attributes that I consider to be something that I would believe in as a consistent, winner. Because once the really good defenses buckle down in a playoff atmosphere, they shut him down. And that was exactly what the Rams did to him in his last playoff appearance. And that was they were like, they had like 13 wins that year or something. I think they were 11-0 before they lost that year. So we'll check the current ESPN Gamecast. As soon as I pull it up. Dolphins 4-point favorites now. Arizona getting 4. That's actually not a bad number to take, given what we've shown the last 10 games. If we do win, hey, I'm sure Arizona can make it a game enough to lose by less than 4. So that +4 is looking really good for the Arizona Cardinals. Money line +175 for the Cardinals, -210 now for the Dolphins. So the bettors are looking for a pretty sure win for Miami. Over and under is 46.5. ESPN Analytics has a 51.4% chance for the Cardinals to win, 48.2% now. That's gotten better for Miami since we last looked at it on Wednesday. Still waiting on a full updated injury report. I think it might be out. Arizona 2-3 in their last 5. Dolphins are 1-4. Game time weather looking to be 83 degrees, partly cloudy. Or partly sunny, depending on how you think. Real feels 83, so there will be very low humidity. Breezy and pleasant with times of clouds and sun. A hot afternoon for football. Stay hydrated because it's going to be dry. Wind gusts up to 31. Wind out of the northeast at 14 miles an hour. That's pretty strong. 3% chance of rain. Cloud cover 46%. So technically partly sunny. in the shade, it should feel like 79 degrees. So the Dolphins sideline will be like 79 degrees, and the Arizona sideline will be like 83. That's pretty funny. It's pretty cool. Afternoon, I don't know what they consider afternoon. I guess right afternoon, but the forecast is about the same. Humidity 55%. Yeah, that is really low. That's like northern weather for down here. 55%, you're getting into Arizona dry levels. So the Arizona Cardinals are basically coming over across the country to an environment that's much like what they play in. But they're also coming off a short week. Tickets are now as low as $37, which are cheaper than the yellow parking passes. Go figure. Parking's looking a lot better for me for this game. I'm currently waiting on a friend to do a ticket transfer, but they have yet to come through with their offer. So I'll be waiting that now. I might get screwed and have to pay for quite a bit for a yellow pass. So I got some news. Cap's going to the game this Sunday. And the person he's riding with is over in the really, really nice parking area. So it looks like the boys from the tailgate are going to be meeting up over in the black parking somewhere. That's where all the goody two-shoes get to park. Oh, that's pretty cool. Good. We're going to get to see El Cap make an appearance. Now, we're obviously that's going to mean that I don't know if there's going to be anybody to call the game on YouTube this weekend. Yeah, still no email from the person. All right. I guess maybe that's not happening. I got the money for it, ready to go. So somewhere in black parking, it looks like it might be, Joe. I don't know if they allow tailgating there, but the Finns tailgate's going to be meeting up there for at least a second. That's right over on the south side of the stadium, kind of southwest, where you got the little kids park and all that. The little fan park. So basically, look for the limousines on the south side of the stadium. That's where the black parking is at. It's where all the important people park. There's one on the north side and one on the south side. And if you're doing the park and ride from Hard Rock Hotel, there's that's where they drop you off, is the north side black parking. But Cap will be parking on the south side, apparently. I need to see if they'll take 95 and come nab me up so I don't have to find parking. Now, I try to stay away from Dolfreaky Aquavision. Last time I saw Dolfreaky, her and Miss Finns were hanging out. And yeah, I don't remember that night, man. No, I ain't got no beef. You kidding? She's cool with the stadium. She'll definitely hand you a few drinks. No, they run a nice little juice bar, basically. I guess you could call it a little mixed bar, little mimosa tent. What's up, Cap?
What
Hey, I heard through the grapevine that that you might be going to the game parking in the goody two shoes spot.
Dude, I didn't even know about this parking thing when I was talking to you earlier about going to the game. So, a friend, well, I mean, I would say a friend of the family now.
Yeah.
I mean, uh, my wife works at a local restaurant chain up here as a bar manager, and
Oh, is that what they call them now? No, I'm just kidding.
anywho, yeah, dude, that messed me up.
It was laid right out for me. I couldn't help but take it, man.
Couldn't even get it. So anyhow, he, she's a diehard Dolphins fan too. So when she's working, she's always got some Dolphin swag on. And he was like, "Oh, you like the Dolphins?" Blah 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 blah. And he's come in before, and in the off season, she doesn't wear it too much in the off season, but so she was like, "Yeah, my husband has a YouTube channel and podcast and all that good stuff, and he might be watching right now. Shout out to Ray."
What's up, Ray?
Yeah, Ray the homie. But so he has like extra tickets that he's a season ticket holder, been for like 20 years or something like that. And so he has like extra tickets all the time. His daughter goes to almost every game and stuff like that, but he always has like an extra ticket or two. Sometimes he'll have 3 extra tickets. But he was like, "Listen, let me know what games you want to go to. You can come to most of them, if not all of them." And so I just reached out and talked to him, and he was like, "Let's go. I got 1 ticket for you." And I'm like, "Done."
Sweet.
So yeah,
Sweet.
I'll be riding down from Daytona area with him early, and be getting there and tailgating in, I guess it's called the black parking. I didn't even know they
Yeah.
had like black
Do you
parking.
know if it's south side or north side? Doesn't really matter, but
I want to say from the way he explained it, it was like east side black parking, which is right next to the stadium. Because he said, "Listen, you get out."
that would be the black north because it's kind of northeast corner of the stadium, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he said, "Look," he goes, "I have black parking when we get out in the car. We're at the stadium." He
Right.
goes, "We
Right.
got our
That's
own
where all
special way
like
to come in,
that's where
and
like
our
the
own special
players'
way to come out."
families. That's like where the families and friends and all the important people park. You know what I mean? Like press
Pretty
probably
much.
parks there. You know what I mean?
So yeah, it sounds like a
Anybody
difficult
that's
parking.
got anybody that's got about uh wait, hold on. Anybody that's got about
Damn,
$666.
Joe Wrist, that is nasty fucking work, dog. That is nasty work in chat, Joe Wrist. It should be Joe Rick. I mean, damn, do you see that? Damn, that is some nasty work.
Here you
No,
go.
they
So
don't.
you got the cheapest one on Vivid Seats right now for Black South is $375.
Hmm.
The most
Yeah,
expensive one, Black Reserved parking, is $1,100.
yeah, exactly. So anyhow, he said, yeah, when we get out, we're right next to the stadium. So I don't know exactly where it's at.
The cheapest orange seat right now, orange parking right now is 155, and
So that
yellow is
should give you,
going for $75.
that should give you an indication of it being twice as expensive as an orange. So I'm assuming it's twice as good. That's kind of what
Yeah,
Alfred's price
yeah.
worked.
If you want to park in Fort Lauderdale, there's one for $89, $81 to park in Fort Lauderdale, dude.
Sweet.
Like, I mean, like, I'm joking. It's not really in Fort Lauderdale,
We're
but it's like,
talking about the yellow parking on the fringe.
no, it's called gray parking. It's the parking pass that I currently have.
Ah, gotcha.
The cheapest one I'm looking at right now is $59, dude. The game tickets are as low as 37 right now.
Nah, for real?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that I will say,
It's ridiculous,
right?
bro. Parking is absolutely ridiculous at this stadium, bro. And it's an insult to hear Tyreek Hill tell me that if I don't believe Tua is
What
the
happened here?
franchise, then I need to find another team. Like,
Huh.
gladly, Tyreek, gladly. Okay. Because I'm sure Jacksonville would probably send me a limousine right now to take me up to their stadium to sit in the front row. Keep pressing me.
What are you talking about?
Talking to Tyreek.
Tyree?
Yeah. Telling people if you don't believe Tua is the franchise, fine and go to another team. That's what he said yesterday.
You know what?
Like
I
a
don't really
fucking
sweat.
2 in here.
Listen, I don't really sweat him being a 2 in here. Not gonna lie, buddy. Not even because I tell you what, he's gonna play like he believes that, and we're gonna see a different guy. You know, we talked before we get on that. Let me just close up this statement. With the parking shit. I've paid an exuberant amount for parking, more than ticket costs, several times because the party in the parking lot is such a great thing. Between all the little bit of trash talk you do with the other freaking fans and the camaraderie with all of your peoples, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just this weird vibe when everyone in one place is all, tuned in for one thing. And I mean, the food, the festivities, the everything. I mean, you couldn't walk around that parking lot without someone giving you a drink or giving for free. I'm not talking about buying, and there's plenty of shit for sale, but just what we give each other as fans, one another. Such a vibe, and that's why you would pay for more parking because it's worth that at times. As you know, Color, because you've been trying to get better parking. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but I will say this, right? Oh, look, Tyler Huntley was just placed on IR. Just hit my freaking thing. He has a shoulder injury, placed on IR. So when I think about Tyreek
Well,
Hill,
real quick, Adam asks what else could he say about his QB? He could leave that part out. That's not saying nothing about the QB. That's saying something to the fans, man. Like, he could have just said all the stuff he said without saying, if you don't believe he's the franchise, go to another team. Like, he could have left that part out.
So
Because he did say great things about his quarterback.
And I am going to project here a little bit, Color. But I don't think you're realizing how Tyreek is agreeing with you. And let me explain. All these people are talking about tanking. All these people are talking about, the season's over. All these people are, calling for the head,
Right.
not just Tua, but the
Right.
GM and the coach. And guess what? They're calling for Tyreek Hill to be traded. Meanwhile, he's looking at it as the Dolphins are 2-4, and if QB1 come back and he feels better, we gonna turn this around. Which that's who we know who this guy is.
So you think he's kind of being like I was before about this is what you asked for, time to eat. What's on your plate, whether you like it or not.
I think that not only is he saying it's time to eat, I think he's saying wait till we get eaten. You know what? Wait till we get this bitch right. Because guess what, Color?
Play the game, in other words.
In 3 weeks, okay, if the Dolphins over these next 3 weeks they beat the Cardinals, they beat the Bills, then they beat who's our next opponent? The Rams.
I thought Patriots. I thought I have to check again, but yeah, something like that.
It's like I think it's the Rams. Anyhow, whomever the next opponent is, because it's either the Rams, it's either the Rams, the Patriots, or the Raiders.
It is in fact the Rams.
Okay.
On Monday night, yeah.
And the Rams just beat freaking the Vikings, although with a terrible call to end the game. But those three opponents,
believe that?
Dude, it was the most atrocious no call I've seen.
The refs tried to say that they didn't have a line of sight. They were blocked by the other players. But then you look at the other view from viewing into the end zone from the left side.
Homie's staring right at it.
Yeah, and I'm talking about the view from the secondary looking into the end zone on the left side, right? Like the other side. And it's like the guy, I could see the ref's eyeballs. How could he be blocked by the player?
I don't know, man. I don't know how you can't see not only what's going on the other side, but how I mean the whole thing you can see from that angle. Doesn't matter. I don't want to talk about it. Anyhow, the Dolphins come back and rattle off those 3 wins. Now, again, I already told you guys, I believe they get this dub this week. And not only that, I believe that, the offense and Tua and Tyreek and everything else shows up. And I've got my monies on it. Like, I'll send you the parlay, but I've got Tua on the over, Tyreek anytime touchdown, Tyreek Hill on the over, and then I've got the Dolphins to win, all on one parlay. I have taken that because if the Dolphins win, it's good. Oh, those 3 things are happening. Tua over, Tyreek anytime touchdown. I put that together. I believe that so. Question is, are they going to go on to Buffalo on the road and get it done? Are they, even if now, great, they got it done. Now they're 500. Are they going to come on primetime on Monday night to a probably better Rams team than you thought you were going to face ultimately and beat them on primetime? Now you're 1 game above 500 doing what they've done. This narrative is a whole different tale. And you've been saying this for weeks. Now, do I believe that to happen? I don't know. Let's see what happens Sunday before I start talking about beliefs. But am I going to negate the possibility of that happening? No, I'm not. And Tyreek is acting like a guy who's going to try to make that happen right now. So I don't.
Well, again, and
begrudge
and hence the name of the title: Tua cleared to play, stars cleared to perform. As if they're allowed to now. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, now here's where I'm going to argue with you. Because I'm playing fandom card right now.
Oh, I got you. I just be ready for the amount of evidence I got to show that they ain't been performing on purpose.
Well, remember
Yeah,
we talked about this. Oof.
Uh-oh.
All right. Sorry, I was dying laughing. Anyhow, we can. That is speculatory, and we can speculate on that. And you know me, I love to speculate on that.
Yeah, well, I'm speculating.
We did talk a lot about how the psychological effects. Day 1 with Coach McDaniel. I mean, homie looked like he looked like he lost his house in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And had to tell his old lady, and she told him, "Don't come home. I'm divorcing you." That's what he looked like. He looked like a guy who lost it all right after that game. And then as the wheels start turning, maybe the team had bought into Skylar Thompson. I would say the team weaponry. I don't think Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle bought into Tyler Huntley, not like the fans did. And maybe they shouldn't have. Maybe they're seeing something in practice that we're not seeing. And that's a guy completely not be able to run this offense the way it needs to. I'm not saying that they shouldn't play like how they. I mean, look, we could still criticize them for gearing down rather than gearing up, right? I would hope that they would have geared up to help lift these guys, and that we can criticize.
Well, I don't even really criticize them for it. I'm more criticizing the culture, the coaching, the coaches who implements the culture. So,
Agreed,
I mean,
but I don't.
I don't blame it. Again, I don't. It's like I've always said. I don't blame the ants for the pile of sugar being left on the counter. You know what I mean? They're just doing what they do. If I'm an employee at any organization and the management is going to let me do whatever the hell I want to do, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do.
Yeah, I hear that.
I mean, it's human nature, it's just no different than the ant. It's my analogy of the ants and the sugar is a version of the scorpion and frog parable, dude. You can't blame the scorpion for being a scorpion. You can't blame an ant for being an ant. If you left a pile of sugar on the counter, it's your own damn fault.
Absolutely. And again, look, I'm going to add some context to it. It's inherently the problem I think we can attribute.
Really quick, sorry, Cap. Anytime, Adam. You've always got an open invite to come up on and talk. It don't even have to be a panel. Just let me know. I'd like to hear your opinion on it. As he
I
says,
would love to hear
says-
Adam's opinion
well,
on
he
this.
says y'all are wrong about it, but you're right about it, which means it's more new. He has a different nuance, and I'd
I
like to
want to
hear
hear
it.
it
You know what I
because
mean?
it
Sure.
sounds like Adam's got one loaded in the chamber is what it sounds
Right,
like.
right.
So drop the link for Adam. Guys, if you click on the link, you might not get up, right? But Adam, this link
I
in
think
chat is for
I
you.
can hit up Adam on Twitter anyway if I
Oh,
needed
okay,
to.
word up.
Yeah.
Real
Give him the
quick
link.
though, I wonder, right, if this is why I have a problem with the state of the team because of how it's currently constructed, right? And you said it. The coach should be the one to lead on that team. While I think two things are the reasonings for that. One, younger guy. Two, players team. And it's why I have a problem with it.
Three, younger guy at the very top of the Dunning-Kruger slope.
Oh, okay. Well, we can discuss the Dunning-Kruger slope, but
Well,
again,
hey, that's cool, Adam. Just again, you even have an opportunity tonight if you got the time. Shake will be doing the drive time at 7:00. That's open panel anyway. So yeah, anytime, man.
so well, when you say he's at the top, that means he's going on the slide, dog, and the slide's good. That's when you gain.
Well,
the
he's
wisdom.
definitely learning.
He's
We're
definitely gaining the
watching him
wisdom.
go down the slope as we speak. You know what I mean?
Now, how fast can homie
That's
enact that wisdom?
well, that slope usually takes a lifetime to go down, bro. So
Well, Tyreek Hill is the fastest man in the world, so maybe he can fix that slope real quick, dog.
right.
Because I'll tell you what Mike
The
McDaniel
reason I
does
say that
do?
is because it's not hard to figure out why the ants act like ants. When you watch yesterday's presser from McDaniel or today's presser, it's just I was gonna roast it, but I can't do that to this audience, dude.
No,
It's
it's not.
that
It's not
bad
healthy.
today, man. It's like,
It's
bro,
not healthy.
oh, it's just terrible. I'm like, how does anybody want to cape for this dude? No wonder they're caping for Tua the way they are. They're like, finally, somebody to cape for. My God, man.
Culler, you are on fire right now, buddy. I don't know. Everybody hit the like button. Culler is double
I've
barrel.
never seen such a low energy, like somebody that purports to be all and fist bumping and have such low energy. And like, it's not even the uhs and ums. It's the constant dragging out everything and making everything so esoteric, dude. It's like the players are probably like, bro, it's Tyler Huntley, man. You know what I mean? Like, shut up already. And that's how they played. You know?
You feel like
the real
he's not more
dude.
direct with them? You feel like he's not more direct with the players, that this is inherent?
Well, no, I think that when it came down to it, he tried to be, but they're like, bro, listen to yourself. You know what I mean? You're hyping up Skylar Thompson, dude. Which, by the way, in case you didn't hear, has moved himself back up the depth chart. So for all those people that are like, Skylar's the first one to go, well, you still have to break the barrier of McDaniel's belief in him. So again, if you don't believe in Skylar as our QB2, go find another team. How's that work? See how that works? And I don't get paid $30 million to insult you that way. Donate to the channel if you'd like to make that work towards that cause.
Yeah, hook it up. Hook it up.
But I mean, for real, that would be the same thing as me saying, if you don't believe in Skylar as our QB2, find another team. And it ain't because Tyler Huntley got hurt. Because McDaniel was talking about Skylar slated to be QB2 the other day. I just hadn't mentioned it because I didn't do a show yesterday.
Yeah, but Color, let's not lose the fact that QB1 coming back, Color.
Right. So we don't have to trash Skyler anymore.
I just
As
want
long
to.
as Tua is healthy, there's no
I want.
reason to trash any other quarterback.
I want to put the light a little bit on McDaniel here because I want to wonder this, right? Tua's going to come back, and listen, my number one concern that has been my number one concern is his health, because to me everything's hinging on it. And if you want to know what it looks like without him, we just seen that, and that's ultimately might be what has to happen for the team
Right.
to go in a
See,
different
that's the
direction.
part, but that's the part where I think everybody thinks I'm disagreeing, and I'm not.
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
disagree with a word of that. I think
no,
it's
I know you don't.
wrong, though. Like, it's wrong in principle. Not that you're wrong about
No, no,
that.
no, 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 no.
You
I'm
know
just
what I
calling
mean?
it for what it is, dog. I'm calling it for what it is. That I would agree with you. The organization hinging on this being what we are and have to deal with is wrong. In a business
You're
practice,
right.
at
If
the
you're so handcuffed by any one player, that's
that's right.
wrong.
It it is, and it's fucking mad. Handcuffed, fine. But handcuffed with health on the line, it's a whole different level to deal with
Mm-hmm.
psychologically too. And
Right.
we thought about this. How psychologically is everyone affected from the top down to see him like that? I see what it does psychologically to this fan base. Look at how it deals with the fan base. Now, don't get me wrong. And here's the scary part. We are living on it. We are living in a pendulum swinging roller coaster ride with this now, because
I call it a poker game. It's so volatile, dude. The highs are so high and the lows are so low, dude.
I don't know, man. I think it's even worse than that, dude. Because yes, the highs are highs and lows are lows, but I think it's even, well, I don't know. I kind of use that Vegas fucking
It's
loser.
just the volatility involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, because we are at one peak of just absolute despair. And that thing gonna come swinging back around again, and everyone's gonna. All the endorphins are flowing back in. The grass is a little greener. The sun's a little shinier. The whole fucking world perspective changes. You know what I'm saying? Because this
Right.
team fucking put the juice
But
back in.
is anybody going to really presume to tell me that Tyreek Hill doesn't believe in himself beyond Tua? Because that's what he's suggesting, is that he can't perform psychologically without Tua on the field.
Mm. So,
Like, I can't perform unless I'm close friends with the quarterback. It's one thing to say you perform better. It's another to say you're crippled without a guy that you're friends with at quarterback. That's pretty weak, dude.
well, we do know this team is soft, right? We do know that, and I think up and down in the fan base, we can agree upon that. The question is,
Doesn't that mean that the quarterback is making him, Patrick Mahomes included?
I mean, Color, you can't throw him.
He can't go beat Tyreek Hill if Daniel Jones is throwing him the ball. That's not an elite receiver, dude.
Mm.
You think DeAndre Hopkins gives a fuck who's throwing the ball to him? It might affect his overall production and stats, but do you think he gives a fuck? He's out there performing. He caught a touchdown on us, did he not? To help them beat us last year. I mean, he's catching the ball. And you know what it earned him? It earned him a real shot at a Super Bowl ring on a real team in his 12th season. A team that didn't want Tyreek anymore. Nor did they need him. That's what Tyreek's having to deal with in his head. And we're watching that play out. That's where the deflection to the fans comes from. And ultimately, that's why it's like water under the bridge for me. Say whatever you got to say, Tyreek. I'm still going to be a fan, and you can't say I'm not. And I also don't have to believe in Tua. But he's right. In order to be a fan, you sort of do have to believe in the team. Maybe not belief, I guess. Maybe it's up to you. Hope, at least. Caring. Like I want what's best for this team and the organization. I mean, is there something wrong with that? Let's be real. Tua wouldn't have lasted one game 15 years ago. Wouldn't have lasted one game. He would have been Pat Whited right out of the league. Hit the like button, everybody. Follow Chef Jew's advice. Good afternoon, Chef Jew. The poll question for today, because I'm trying to figure out where I want to go every day and how much I really have to make sure I'm going in the morning. How do you prefer color? Morning coffee and color, afternoon color commentary, or beg Stephen D to come back? 28% of you want to see me in the morning. 41% want afternoon color commentary. Wow, look at that. And 31% of you to say beg Stephen D to come back. So that's a whopping 72% that want something besides color in the morning. Yeah. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. The easiest way to know when color's going is to hit that notification bell after you subscribe to the channel. Because then it won't matter. You'll know. You'll get a little thing. It'll be like, yo, color's going. Got 117 of you in. It kind of gathered up slowly. 57 on YouTube and only 39 likes. So as Chef Jew said, hit the like button. So I don't know. I'm thinking afternoon might be like the way to go, because it just seems like every time I go to shut the show down around 4 or 5, I'm getting more people rolling in that just didn't have the opportunity to watch that early in the morning, or didn't care to. I know you're fresh getting your job at 10 in the morning. It's more likely you're going to be bored in the afternoon or getting off early or whatever. So I may have to just devote the consistency to afternoon, and then maybe we can make it consistent. Look, if I'm aggravated enough and I want to talk, maybe I'll still fire it up in the morning and just go longer. But it seems like, if I'm to maximize the efficiency of my time, it sounds like afternoon color commentary is going to be the norm. Maybe I'll throw coffee in a cup over to my channel, and kind of do it more loosely as a, personal show. We'll see how it works out, but that's the point of the poll, to give me information to work with to make a decision. I do have the latest injury report. It is Friday. We like to wait till Friday because it's the most accurate. We have some quite a bit of unsettling news. Cater Kohu didn't practice all week. He's out. Zach Sealer didn't practice today because he got poked in the eye, which may actually require surgery, I'm seeing now. Oh, wow. So he'll be out for the game. Storm Duck didn't practice all week. He's doubtful. Tyreek Hill turned up lame yesterday, didn't practice today, and he's questionable. QB Tua Tagovailoa, they still have listed as questionable. He's full practice the last 2 days. He's cleared the concussion protocol. That should change. We all know he's playing. Full practice for Eichenberg, full practice for Ogba, full for Waddle. They don't have any indication on Teron Armstead. He didn't practice Wednesday, but there's no indication yesterday or today, nor his game status. Same with Calais Campbell. They should be okay to go. Tyler Huntley didn't practice all week, moved to the injured reserve with a right shoulder injury, so that is going to be probably it for Tyler Huntley as a Miami Dolphin. On the Arizona side of the ball, linebacker Dennis Gardick, he's on injured reserve. Roy Lopez, he's out for the game. Sean Murphy Bunting is out for the game. Darius Robinson, defensive lineman, he's out. Kevin Beecham, questionable for their offensive line. No information on the rest of their injured players. All of them had full practice except for Christian Jones. He had a full practice yesterday, but they have no information for today, nor his game status. So that's the current injury report going into the game. The Zach Sealer thing is tough, man. It's going to be so tough to keep him out of the end zone. Going to be looking for a closer game than I was originally. Congratulations to TD Finstock as well, who has just acquired his NFL credentials. So I don't know what type of credentials, but he'll be able to go to the combine, the draft, a couple other exclusive spots. So shout out to him moving up in the real world. Super Bowl draft and combine, he says. Awesome. Congratulations, TD. Well deserved. Nothing else on the news. So my personal take on the game, we got to keep the ball out of Kyler Murray's hands. We got to score touchdowns and get out to a quick lead. That's always the key to our game. And that's going to require passing the ball and making quick strikes and all that. But we have to be able to get a lead and secure the lead through our run game. We can't be so one-dimensional. We can't just decide run or pass. We can't just come out running the ball, because if we don't score, that's it. We have to get out to a quick lead, couple score lead, which means passing heavy in the beginning of the game. Get the ball into Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle's hands as much and often as you can. You take the 2-score lead, and then you just run the ball the rest of the day. You go on 10 to 13 play drives, and you keep Kyler Murray off that dang field. That's all you can do. And if we do that and we can keep the scoring low, I know they have a high-powered offense, but their scoring was pretty low in the last game they played. They're going to be tired. Short week, long travel. We should be able to keep the scoring down. And if we do, all we need to do is score over 24 points. And I firmly believe if we can score over 20 points, 24 points, our defense can hold them down to lower than that. So I have us, I think I said on Miss Fins, we win 27 to 25 or something like that. But I have us realistically winning. And I think we can win to the tune of like 27 to 17. If it's a close game, meh. If it ends up being slap happy offense on both sides, maybe. I just can't imagine that we're really that bad, that we couldn't have fixed whatever we were dealing with. Jacksonville, Buffalo, Arizona. So we're going to find out. If we get blown out, there is no coming back from that. It's over. I mean, how can we even justify expecting to improve if the Cardinals blow us out? We can't. There's no way you're going to hear me talking about, oh, we're just going to fix stuff and then beat Buffalo. There's no. Come Monday, if we get embarrassed, come Monday, I'm going to tell you we're done. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. How can you get past that? That's completely demonstrating you have no desire to fix any of the issues, which all existed before Tua got hurt. I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh, we can all of a sudden turn around and the best game we can have is against the team that we haven't been able to be even sniff a win against since I mean, come on. Buffalo is struggling, but they're not struggling like that. You have to have some kind of indication that that we are what we thought we were going to be. And if you don't get that this week against the Cardinals, what do you expect to do against the Bills? 2-5 will become 2-6, just like that. The Rams are clicking again. What are you going to have for the Rams after at 2-6? On the other note, if you win this game and respectably win it, do you do some kind of move to replace the production of Zach Sealer? I mean, how are we going to get around that? The dude might have to have surgery on his eye. You could call him the quarterback of our defense. The Tua of our defense. So I look for the defense to step up and play for him this week. They know how to do that. I don't think anybody's going to be taking the day off to make Zach Sealer look better. So tell me what you guys think. Hit the like button. The game is what it is. There ain't much else to say. If you want me to get into details, what? They they got the 26th ranked pass defense. We should be able to pass the ball and get out to that quick score lead that I was talking about. Their run defense is suspect. We should be able to hold that lead. Our coordinator spoke yesterday. I'm gonna get into Mr. Weaver at least because I want to hear what he has to say. Of course, this would be before the Zach Sealer injury. We won't get much information on what he plans to do to counter that injury. Oh, we got a Ramsey and Armstead meetup. All right, we'll do that. And we'll see what Weaver has to say or had to say yesterday. Let me pull this up. Mr. Ramsey. Best corner in the league. What do you got to say? Oh, wrong one. There we go.
With the secondary, obviously the nickel position with Cater out this week. How much of a challenge is that for some of the young guys to have to step up?
Just opportunities. It's just an opportunity. Cam gonna get to spin for finally. Happy for that. Happy for that moment for him. I can't wait for y'all to see what he about, because he a baller. I ain't gonna lie to you. He do some special things just like in practice. So that'll be cool.
How much of that is just confidence for a young player when they don't play?
He good. He good. He got what he need. He good.
What's your FSU prediction against Miami?
The nose win. I don't know how it's gonna look. I don't care how it's gonna look, but the nose got to get this one. I know it's been a little rough, a little rocky this season. We ain't worried about that.
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there, Jalen. Okay, first of all, I like what you said about Cam Smith. Seems like this superstar corner has a lot of belief in Cam Smith, so that's encouraging to hear. And he didn't seem like he was trying to say things to make us feel good. It looked like he was pretty sure about his teammate. That's pretty cool to hear. But you can stop with that Florida State nonsense right now, Jalen. This is Miami, bro. You need to start realizing where you play football, buddy. You can't be talking like that. I'm sorry. You ain't gonna be standing in a Miami football locker room throwing shade on my Canes, buddy. Sorry to tell you. College days are over, dude. This is Canes country right here. I'll pretend you didn't say it, what you just said. All right.
That we worried about tomorrow night, 7 o'clock.
You gonna be there?
Yeah, that's right. You better be worried about Sunday at 1 o'clock, because your boys ain't gonna do nothing tomorrow night. Don't worry about that. You can just go to bed, get your beauty sleep, get ready for the game Sunday, because your Knowles ain't doing shit.
We got to focus on my game. I wish, but I got to focus on my game.
Yeah, that's right.
But, when is going out? You putting this out today?
Sure.
Hey, my daughters, they got their cheerleading outfits. If I can get them to the game, though, I'm gonna be in meetings. But if I can get them to the game so they can get some pictures with the cheerleaders, somebody at FSU hit me up. I ain't want to hit Norvell about this because he got other stuff to focus on. But my daughters, they want to meet the cheerleaders. So I need y'all to somebody come through for me.
Get that out. Excitement level for
Tour.
How dare he? How dare you, Jalen?
Yeah.
Whatever y'all call him these days, to be back.
Oh no. Excited for sure. He looks great, man. He's locked in, helping get everybody where they need to be. Locked in on the details, all the small things. We're focusing on those nuances for sure. That's been helping us lose games. So we're trying to clean all that up.
Not like it was lacking before, but is there extra boost of energy now that QB1 is back in the fold?
He brings his own energy. Like he has an energy about him that is contagious. That you have no choice but to gravitate towards. And
finally, a man who knows how to answer that question without. I don't care if he's lying or not. That's how you answer that question. Well, not to say you weren't bringing the energy before, but it's obvious you're going to bring more energy now. What's that because of? Armstead? Armstead's just like the consummate professional he is. He's like, yo, it's contagious. I don't know what to tell you. It's not like we were slacking, but Tua brings it and it leaks out onto us. I don't believe none of that shit, but it's believable. It's a lot better than saying, Nah, we just been taking plays off. Tua don't, we don't do that for Tua. Yeah, context, absolutely, bro. That's how a leader speaks. Look, I'm not going to explain to you why we look like we had no energy the last 5 weeks. I'm just going to tell you, Tua brings his level of energy, and it's contagious. I mean, yeah, okay, that's completely plausible. That's how you hype up your quarterback without being contrived.
It's very much revigorating and revitalizing for an offense that's been struggling.
As Mike told us, the unfortunate news about Zach Sealer today. It's such a game where you can get hurt in so many different ways. How big a risk is it in practice, Teron, to have an eye poked with line play?
Yeah, no, it's a surreal thing, man. And incidental for sure. Nobody's trying to go for an eye, but you playing fast and playing low, big guys moving around.
Man, he's answering it like it was his finger that got in there and poked the eye.
It's unfortunate for sure. Zach, one of the best players on the team, one of the best players in the league. So him dealing with
his arm alone is the best player on the team, Teron.
that is definitely unfortunate for us.
Where are you on this two of the same debate? Tyreek said he is. Said, not really. Where are you on this?
Yeah, no, that's unrealistic for one player to be a savior. You probably in basketball only 5 people on the field, but offense, defense, special teams, there's 33 starters. You know what I mean? So he's a huge part of everything that we do. Huge impact, but for him to be the savior, the hero, to try to save everything, it's unrealistic, unfair. We got a lot of work to do. Everybody else, we got to be able to produce and create lanes for the runners. Runners got to go execute. Receivers got to go. Everybody, you know what I mean? So Tua can't throw it to himself, or he can't hand it off to himself. Can't block for himself.
God, I mean, great answer. Great answer. And he doesn't look frustrated by the question, even though I know he must be. It ain't no wonder this dude's a great player, man. It ain't no wonder at all. But it's like, hey, man, stop asking them that. Can we stop asking them that? You know how offensive it is to these guys to hear that? You're basically telling them they suck and Tua needs to be God level for them to win. I can say that, Jermaine, that they weren't trying because Tua wasn't there, because the evidence shows that. I'm not saying I'm not trying to insult them for it, but the more we dance around it and act like that ain't the case, I mean, come on, man. It don't matter. It's water under the bridge. They're obviously ready to play. And so we now can evaluate them and what they've done to fix their problems since Buffalo. That's why I tried to say earlier in the week, it's forget these last 4 weeks, 4 games. This is the continuation of our season from Buffalo. They had a terrible performance against Buffalo, right? And during that week, if Tua wouldn't have got injured, we all would have been asking and talking about what they need to fix. So Tua coming back and people talking about it like it's a savior situation, he needs to save himself because he looked terrible against Buffalo. I'm not saying he can't get better. I wasn't going to be off the team and off the season after Buffalo. This is the next game after that horrible performance in against Buffalo. This is the next game. What can they fix? That's what Teron's talking about. We got all kinds of other work to do that ain't got to do with Tua or the quarterback. And 1,000 other things to work on. In case y'all didn't notice. How's Tua going to fix Zach Sealer's eye? How's Tua, as Teron just said, how's Tua going to hand the ball off to himself? we know he can't block for himself because everybody wants him to slide. So we know he can't block for himself.
Started this week working with Chop Robinson after the practice and then in the locker room. How much does that help him in terms of the technique that he's going to face against offensive linemen with your caliber?
Yeah, we just talking ball, talking experience, what challenges I see.
The question was, he was working with Chop Robinson this week, obviously, because Chop's going to be next man up. How much could Chop benefit from working with a super caliber offensive lineman like yourself?
What he's seeing from O linemen, it could help a little, could help a lot, maybe not at all, but it don't hurt. It don't hurt at all. So I love Chop. Love everything about him. His approach, his professionalism, his hunger. His production will come for sure. He's a special talent. It's hard in the league when we are so fixated on the stats, and it's a production-based league for sure. But it's a marathon, man. It's not a sprint. So some people come out the gate in high production and then fall off, or But as long as he trusts his process, keep going about everything the right way, working hard, all that good stuff, the production will come.
And let's be real, I mean, if Anthony Weaver can't get it done, who can? I mean, and if you all think I'm hyping up Weaver, we're going to watch his presser from yesterday. And you're going to see why. I know a lot of you already have, especially all that watch me regularly. You know how there's no shortage of praise from me towards Anthony Weaver. But when you hear a guy like him say, Chop's trusting the process and all that, and you wonder, okay, who's in control of that process? It's this man coming up. As soon as I can push the right levers here. See, they got all kinds of hoops for me to jump through when you want to see the best, you gotta go through all kinds of hoops. I think it was somebody, Joe Shad, I want to say, tweeted yesterday, look, this is going to be one of your next head coaches in the league.
I think so. That's fun.
I was hoping he was talking about us.
I'm going to ask you about.
Here we go. Defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver, ladies and gentlemen.
Kamara had the 2 pressures and the 7 pass rushing snaps. What did he do to convince you guys he was ready to play on Sunday? And has he earned potentially any more time off his play on Sunday?
Yeah, again, Mo is one of those guys who he's putting in the work. He's a rookie, so sometimes when you don't have the consistency at the trajectory you'd like, you get a little bit frustrated, but it's not through lack of effort. So the one thing we talked about before, he is a physical presence out there. He wants to do right every time he's out there, and he's going to play more just because we see his talent. We know he has playmaking potential, and we're going to have to live through some of those rookie mistakes.
Yeah, and your D lineman just got poked in the eye today. So, yeah, how prophetic.
How ready do you feel Cam Smith is just coming back off IR, especially now we see Cater Kohu and Storm Ducker dealing with some injuries?
Yeah, I'm excited about Cam. He has his, adversity in year one. And when that happens to a player, it's really easy to kind of like tuck your tail and kind of hide from the fight. He hasn't done that. Had some adversity here early this season, right? Was put on IR. But since he's been back, man, you can just tell he's been back with like a different attitude, a different energy. He's been locked in. So he's still a young player. I don't expect him to go out there and be perfect, but I'm excited to go see him compete and just have fun playing a game that he's obviously been blessed with some special gifts and go out and play well.
Well, that's when the special gifts usually shine the most, is when a guy's out there having fun playing the game. Let's see. Let's hope he finally getting his head squarely on right and ready to go like they're claiming. And Jalen Ramsey had some praising words for him today. So that's and I don't take things from Jalen Ramsey lightly like that. The guy is a superstar, and he knows, what's the old saying? Like knows like, So, look, we can put all the stuff behind us. We can put the water under the bridge, all that. We can talk about who's balling out in Chicago and blah, blah, blah. But here it is right here, Cam Smith. We wanted to see him. We get to see him. And, from coaching staff to fellow players, he's got the goods. So, excited to see that. Keep a lookout for his number this week.
Injured. Who are some of the other players that can play the slot position? Obviously, Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
I don't know who else. Bonner, Cam, Needham. Who do you feel comfortable at slot?
Yeah. Obviously, we have a bunch of guys that I think are capable of doing it. Each with their own specific skill sets. So you try to cater to that. But obviously, you mentioned Jalen already. We've played some 3 safeties with Javon there in the slot. I think Saran Neal is a guy that we can use and could play in there. Potentially, you could see some Cam in there. I think we have a bunch of guys that have the skill set to get the job done. It's just really a matter of what we're.
And we did notice last week when we were calling the game, we did end up calling Saran Neal's name at least once or twice. He's starting to show up on the field. This guy might be one of those guys nobody's talking about and forgot about, but look out for O'Neal as well, or Neal. I mean, that might be a number we're seeing a lot more often on the TV broadcasts.
We're trying to do at that particular moment and who we're going to put there.
With Zach and Calais, we see the sacks, we see the TFLs, fumble recoveries. What have they done for this defense, if you can put it in tangible terms? I know that's a very broad question.
It's gotten us off the field on third down, in case you didn't notice. We're first against third down conversions.
I can't sit here and verbalize how important they are. When you're trying to affect the passer, and not even affect the passer, just and play good run defense, you have to be strong on the interior, right? And when you're trying to attack a quarterback, you need push up the middle. Sometimes that push comes through power. Sometimes it comes through games. Sometimes it comes through just guys winning. Those 2 guys do all of that, which is pretty awesome, which inevitably you'll see that'll benefit our edges. But outside of just what they're doing on the field, I mean, the impact they have in the locker room, in this building, is tremendous. And I can't say enough good things about them and the people that they are.
Kind of on that topic, we've seen them both kick out and play a lot of 4 and 5 technique.
Mm-hmm.
Was that something that was kind of in the plan going into the year, or is that due to the attrition you guys have had off the edge?
No, we try very much to be multiple and have our guys do as much as they possibly can with their skill set. We don't want to pigeonhole anybody and just say, hey, you're a 0 technique or you're just a 2-eye. And guys like them that have length but still can bend and play on the interior, you want to put them all over the place just to try to create matchups in your advantage as a defense.
Staying on the defensive line, what has Deshaun Hand shown you where now he's consistently seeing these level of defensive snaps just now week after week? It's not even a surprise anymore when he plays as much as he does.
And I think you said the word just in your question, just consistency. And that's who he is. He is rock solid. Each and every day exactly what you're going to get out of him. So particularly if you're playing linebacker, you want to know where that guy's going to be and what he's going to do in the run game. So you can kind of gap in half and you feel comfortable back there. Some of our younger players are still working towards that. I think Benito's done a good job of that too, and in the snaps he's been out there. But Deshaun Hand is exactly what you said. He has been consistent in his technique, which is allowing him to go out there and play more snaps.
Was the decision to use?
Yeah, that's another name we constantly be referencing and doesn't get talked about enough. Is Deshaun Hand. Constantly seeing him make plays, constantly calling his name. Yet nothing during the week. Nobody ever talks about his importance and his impact as a rotational.
Anthony Walker, 20 snaps in place of David last week, a result of David being troubled by the knee during the week, or have you concluded that Anthony Walker deserves regular playing time?
Yeah, probably a combination of both. We see our linebacker room as a position of strength for us, right? I would love to have Duke Riley play more snaps too. They're just, there's only so many snaps in a football game. And like I said, they're all really good. Dave has been battling some knee injuries. Walk certainly isn't a young player, but is an outstanding football player. So in order to get them both right through the course of the season, we're trying to rotate that a little bit.
Regarding Calais Campbell, is there an on-field moment from this season, either watching live or on film, that after I say that kind of jumps out to you? Like, wow, that play or that series. Yeah.
Oh, man. I think it's how we start off the season, right? How rare is it to start off the season with a sack? And I think he made a call to shot. He made a Babe Ruth it too. So that to me sticks out the most, just because I just remember him just bringing the team up pregame and essentially saying, like, I got you. Like I'm gonna get you there. And then to start the season like that, and I think it's just carrying on in every game. Outside of his obviously his special physical traits that he's been given by God, his will to want to go out there and impact the game is so great. So love the guy, man. Just
love
can't
his
say enough about him.
personality too, man. Calais Campbell's such a cool dude, man.
You guys are number one in the NFL in pass defense. You have only 3 picks. Where does that leave you feeling about the work of the pass defense?
Yeah, I think our guys are doing a tremendous job, both as players and as coaches. Brian Duker, Ryan Slowick, Araujo, Deshaun Shedd. That combination, I always said when we were assembling the staff, me and Mike, you know what you want because you know what you aren't, right? I know by nature I'm not a back seven guy. Obviously, I have knowledge of it. But when we brought those guys together, it was to help fill in some of the gaps where I may potentially be weak. So I'm incredibly proud of these guys and the work that they've put forth. I'm incredibly proud of the players just adjusting to the system, because technically there are some things, particularly from the safety position, that's been different from what they've done here in the past. And we kind of worked through some of those fights early on, but now they've completely bought in. So we'd love to have the takeaways and the turnovers and things of that nature. I do believe that those will come. I still think schematically they are growing more comfortable, right? So we always said it's going to go from competency to confidence to flow state. And we're still very much chasing flow state as a group. And I think when we hit that, that's when those takeaway and turnover also come.
You hit that, we're dropping into
your usage of
top
Jalen Ramsey
0.
blitz comes from the fact that you kind of know that team you're shying away from his side.
We'll be able to beat the good team.
I'm trying to bring Jalen as much as I possibly can. And that is actually a funny story. So I blitzed him 3 straight times. All right. And obviously you don't want to have a tell or a tendency. And he's so smart that we can do everything with him without having to just blitz him when he's at a particular spot. So we get to halftime, and our corners coach, Matthew Araujo, comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, coach, Jalen's been at nickel 5 times. You've only blitzed him once." And I go, "All right, thanks." And that was the next drive where he went 3 straight times. So like I said, he is a weapon. He is so much more than a corner. He is a football player. So as much as we can get him around the ball to make an impact, we're going to try to do that.
Anthony, going back to Campbell for a minute. We all know his.
Ramsey's probably the
record
greatest pure
in
athlete
this
on our
league.
team.
It's a mile long, his accomplishments. But you also know how old he is. When you put all that together, if you could go back to before the season began and project the expectations you may have had for him versus the production you've gotten from him, how do the two compare?
I think they're exactly what you see. Having been with him for 2 years prior, just knowing the work ethic and the standard he has for himself, I don't think he's out on that field if he couldn't have this impact. He's too prideful, right, as we all are. And he wouldn't want to tarnish his legacy, and I don't blame him for that. So I think what you're seeing from him is exactly what I expected.
When you have young edge guys, how much is the film that you're able to show them helpful for their overall development and their overall growth?
I think the film is incredibly important, right? You try to show them the way, and hopefully they can go out there, and I don't want to say mimic, but take pieces and parts of all these tremendous edge players in this league, take parts of their games. What happens as young players, though, is you're just inundated with so much information in terms of the scheme, the pre-snap information that the offense is giving you, and then how you want to play blocks, how you're attacking particular sets on these guys. Like, it's a lot to process. So early on, the game just seems like, I still remember my rookie year and I'm playing against Jonathan Ogden, right? Fun. Okay, guys like this wide, I'm locking it out. I can't find the ball. He's like a perennial Hall of Famer. He's faster than me, probably. Like, I was like, what is happening? And I think I was on the ground like 7 of the first 10 plays I'm playing in the spring. But inevitably what happens is you get comfortable. You now know the scheme where you don't have to think about what you're going to do. You just know, right? Now you can take the next step and you're seeing like, all right, where's the depth of this tackle? Where's the back offset? Like how deep is this tight end? Is it condensed formation? All these things that you know are going to tell you pre-snap, give you some where you're a good poker player now and you're getting the tells. And then the game starts to slow down. And now you can just go win your technique and fundamentals that you now have 1,000,000 reps in and not 100 reps in. So again, I'm pleased with where those guys are at. We're obviously trying to push them to get to where they got to get to faster. But I do believe that, like, repetition is the mother of skill. So we just got to give them reps upon reps and everything in the meeting room, on the football field, in the classroom, and they'll come along.
Yeah. So what he's saying is pump the brakes, everybody. Yeah, we've played trash teams. We've got a great defense on statistically right now because we played, horrible to mediocre to one above average offense. But what he's saying there, it makes sense because we're able to do that because we're getting there. Like things are coming together. And then he's like, we just need to get to the next step of the flow, of the comfort level, confidence then comfort. I hope I'm back now. I see a little network interruption. Let me know if I'm still sounding okay. But that comfort level is when you're flowing. That's when you start to do things we've been doing against the good offenses. That's when you start to become like Steve Spagnuolo's defense. Not sugarcoating nothing. Okay, I'll stop sugarcoating, everybody. We suck. What else do you want me to say? I mean, really. Boy, I'd hate to be the San Francisco defense.
We were around Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, obviously.
Yeah.
How close is Kyler Murray to him in terms of scrambling ability, and how hard do you have to drill into your edge defenders?
This is exactly what I wanted to hear. I want to hear what you're thinking about Kyler, man, because he's the one we got to contain.
Particularly to be very disciplined in that way, right?
Yeah, we certainly have to account for that. He's one of those guys. He is so special from a speed standpoint, where you could be perfect and you think you have an angle and he's going to outrun you. So we'll try to simulate some drills to try to create that on the football field. I don't know how real it actually is. The kid is so special. He looks like Tyreek playing quarterback. So we're going to do our best to try to contain him. But we know if he decides he wants to pull that thing down, it's going to take multiple defenders to get to him.
To piggyback off of Poop's earlier stat about the pass defense and picks, you guys are also toward the bottom of the league in sacks. So how does the defense that's doing that?
If I was him, I would have also said, well, we're going to need our offense to hold on to the ball a little longer this game. We actually didn't do that bad, Cosa Nostra. A lot of what they got was, failures on our part. We gave them 2 short fields, so 1 pick 6. I mean, that Josh Allen didn't score the pick 6.
How do you get to number 1 in pass defense and number 1 in third down defense?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of just one, how well we're playing in the back end, and then the fear offenses have of like where we're potentially bringing pressure from, whether that's a true blitz or a sim. I think quarterbacks were speeding up their clocks a little bit, which when we do 4-man rush, they may still be thinking like, oh, I got to get this ball out. So, I think it's always the balance there. It's the balance of showing pressure, rushing for, getting them to a second hitch, blitzing where now he's getting the ball out because he knows. And I think right now that's probably hindering some of our sack numbers. Just guys thinking they have to get the ball out because they don't know what's coming behind them.
Interesting.
Coach, kind of that same application about the edges getting their feet wet. I know you called defense back in 2020 in Houston, but how would you say the experience of the first, what's it been, 6 games here, how have you kind of grown and fallen into the role of like being comfortable how you call your defense?
Yeah, I you know, they say like you gotta grow through some adversity in order to, like, you know, sharpen your skill set like a pencil, right? You gotta sharpen, you gotta go through some rough patches in order to get, you know, to the point. But I am a much better coach than that year in 2020. But I'm a much better coach because of that year in 2020. Just going through that adversity with COVID and injuries and things of that nature and trying to adapt, and then really recognizing where my weaknesses were and trying to work on those. So I think that's benefited me through the 6 games thus far. And, you know, it's one of those things where when you're in that fire in the moment, you sit there, and I referenced the book of Job to the guys this week, where he had everything, right, was essentially stripped and had to remain faithful. And you're wondering why, right? Count it all joy. But inevitably, like, he gets all those riches back because he remained faithful. And I've told that to the guys this week, like, we had expectations, we've taken a hit, but remain faithful and have trust and belief in who we are, and we can get this thing turned around. And that's just what we'll do. And I think it's the exact same thing that pertains to me being in this seat again.
Pertains to Tua too. I don't have to be the one to have faith in Tua. Tua has to have faith in Tua. Same thing applies to the offense. This is why I know this dude would be a good head coach. You know? What's up, Banana? You know, because of what he's saying here. He's saying, look, they have faith in themselves. They took a hit. They still have faith that they are what they are. So what does anybody care if Culler has faith in them or not? Why should Tua care if Culler has faith in him or not? Why should Tyreek care if Culler believes, if any fan believes in Tua as the franchise guy or not? All I need is Tua to believe that. All I need is the rest of the offense to believe that. I don't need me to believe it.
How does Tua's return help the defense intangibles and in intangibles?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get your starting quarterback that threw for 10,000 yards the year before, that's gonna provide a spark for everybody, not just the defense, the offense, everybody in the building. He's a
Did I detect a little sarcasm there?
heck of a player, a phenomenal person. And, you know, when you're in situations like this, you want hope. And I think he provides that. So we just got to go out there and continue our job. We're not trying to put any pressure on him. We just know who he is and the talent he brings.
So the team release depth chart.
Yeah, we don't want to look at you, dude. We've had enough of you. Yeah, exactly, Jermaine. That's all that matters. Don't matter if I believe in him or not. You know, when Tyreek says things like that, it makes me question his belief. Like, who are you trying to convince, Tyreek? Me or you? You know, I mean, it just is what it is. I don't know, Michael K. If you're in the chat, that's hilarious, dude. I thought the same thing, but fortunately, the Lone Star tick disease doesn't. It's not. It shouldn't last forever. But there's no telling from person to person how long it'll last. So Michael K. is exactly CCRR. That's sort of what I was referencing back to. But Michael K is on a hunting trip over in Tickland. So I gave him some advice, and I told him what you really got to watch out for is that Lone Star tick, because it causes a beef allergy in people. It has an enzyme that causes you to get sick every time you eat beef. And it lasts longer depending on, or shorter or longer depending on the person. It might last 2 weeks, it might last 3 months, it might last 2 years. So he says, "Hey man, I got to stop and get some spray because, I might be a little prone to Lyme's disease, but I don't think I could live if I couldn't enjoy a ribeye." Oh, that's great. Oh, come on, Cosa Nostra. Or that other guy that hurt the reporter the other day. All right, guys. Nobody should go hunting with Dick Cheney. Nobody should go hunting with Dick Cheney. That is definitely a truism, an axiom. Do not go hunting with Dick Cheney. So you guys are really that out on the team? I think we got no shot. So really quick, I'm going to end the poll. We're only getting like 80 something votes, so apparently that's all we're going to get out of this question. 45% of you say you like afternoon color commentary more than the 28% that said morning coffee and color, and 28% of you want me to beg Stephen D to come back. So it looks like, I don't know, I'll have to see what I do with those results. But you may be seeing color in the afternoon a little more often. Good afternoon, Marketeer Solutions. And Marketeer, that may be what we're now waiting to exhale for, which is why we have to let it play out now. Afternoon, Hooked Up Joe. Fins up to you too. Everybody be like Hooked Up Joe. Become a member today. We got memberships. You could certainly join the Fins Tailgate member and support us monthly. That way you don't have to think about it. You could also donate through Super Chats and Super Stickers and Cash App and Venmo. And the easiest way to support the channel is to hit that like button, which we only have right now. Oh, that's terrible. You guys don't even want to know. Or it's bad. It's bad. 50 likes, really? Where are y'all at? It's a Friday afternoon, Friday evening, 5 o'clock. Ooh, I got to start thinking about shutting it down. It's 2 hours. Y'all must got dinner to go to or something, or hot dates or something. Usually Fridays are pretty jamming. I know, Dolphin Don. I'll probably just keep playing it by ear, then letting my body dictate which time I go. Try to keep it focused in the mornings. What I'll do is I'll probably just try to keep going mornings, and then just go longer in the afternoon if I got the energy. And then if I can't, then make sure you're hitting the notification bell, because you're going to know there's an afternoon color commentary coming. You need 3 more hours out of me, huh? Well, you only got about an hour and 45 minutes left before Shake starts up the drive time, Banana. So you'll definitely have something to listen to at the Fins Tailgate with a very short intermission. And look, if I can figure out something to talk about right now, I will. But the more I talk about how we're going to, the X's and O's and how we're going to win this game and strategy, the less people want to hear it. To be honest with you, nobody believes. And we'll find out this Sunday if the team does, because the team is going to need to believe for us to get this win. And the next one. And the next one. I mean, I really feel like that, Joe. I really feel like that. But at the same time, we're also dealing with the fact that there's absolutely no evidence to support that feeling. So we'll have to call it, for the time being, we'll have to call that an irrational feeling, which I share. But I have to be honest with myself and call it irrational. No different than I call 2 ears irrational. Until the evidence supports that. It's been 10 games of this nonsense. I think that the part where we can count ourselves lucky is that it didn't happen in one season, which means we had a decent season last year and we still have a chance to have a decent season this year. We're fortunate. If it's a fluke, if it's just a rough patch, we're fortunate that it was bridged between 2 seasons. But if it ain't just a rough patch, then we're going to be screwed, because the more we win, the more people are going to continue to believe that Tua is the franchise, as Tyreek puts it. And the more fans we're going to bleed from this fan base. I'm not going anywhere, but that don't mean I can't control other people. I don't believe in Mike McDaniel implementing a proper game plan beyond what he wants to do, because sometimes it ain't about what you want to do. Because the evidence shows that, Game Boy. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying the evidence shows that. The evidence supports that opinion, whether you want to believe it or not. What's the old saying? I was born at night, but not last night. I'm not even saying it matters anymore. But they have to prove that that's not the case, Game Boy. They have to prove this Sunday that I'm full of shit. Because come this Sunday, or come Monday, if we lose and we get embarrassed, what's to say then? Then I'm going to say they're not even showing up for Tua. Because unlike the haters, unlike some, I actually believe this team can win even with Tua. They have to prove that to me. Tua is not going to make them win. He was never going to make them win. What part of that Buffalo game gives you a thought that he was like, it matters? Yeah, you're right. I like that. You can't make filet mignon with bologna. That's for sure. That's for sure. But you can make a good bologna sandwich. I just don't think Tyreek likes bologna sandwiches. That's all I'm saying. Maybe we find a turkey for our backup. Maybe he likes turkey a little more. It is what it is. Again, I'm right back to where I was after Buffalo. Forget the backups. Forget Skyler. Forget Tyler Huntley. Forget all that stuff. Forget the last 4 games. We had a terrible showing against Buffalo, our main team with QB1, and I hope we can get that shit fixed. See, I don't see it as where I will agree with you, Game Boy, is that the last 4 weeks have had nothing to do with Tua. So that's the point is that I can get back to where we were and say, okay, here's now the continuation of Tua in his career trying to prove me wrong. And fortunately, our season's not over because I have witnessed Tua go on a better than 8-3 run. Yeah, there were bad teams. I get it, but that's the point. We all expected or wanted him to take another step up to beating the good teams anyway. Well, we only got good teams left pretty much. So an 8-3 run with this schedule would go a long way to showing a guy like me that I might have been a little let's say my lack of faith might have been misplaced. I don't even know how you can misplace lack of faith, but I'll give you that. My point being is that we're right back to where we were. Tua needs to clean up whatever game he was lacking against Buffalo. And it's the same game he's been lacking since last year. I wasn't going to be out on the team just because we lost to Buffalo. So I'm not out on the team now. Fuck the last 4 or 5 weeks. They're over. We got one win. we could at least say that. You know, I mean, the worst case scenario was 0 wins. We avoided the worst case scenario. It's not the most ideal, but it'll work. Yeah, I agree, Cosa Nostra, because a part of fixing all that is McDaniel fixing his shit too. I keep saying it. I mean, you're absolutely right. Crypto says tomorrow at this time he'll be in Miami. Awesome. That's awesome. So I guess you're going to the pre-festivities on Saturday night. You going to the Hurricanes game or what, man? 7:00, Florida State. Oh, that ought to be fun. Hurricanes are wearing all black tomorrow night for the Florida State game. This has been a long time coming, this game. We got to do it. We got to destroy them. This can't be a close game. It's a 1-win team. Brought to you by Reynolds Wrap. Oh, man. Good news is Skylar Thompson will be our QB2 going forward. Amazing how much difference 1 week makes. Oh, stop it. Stop it. What is that? Shive? Shitaibe? Man, stop it. To their own funeral. Oh, okay. You guys are bad. You guys are terrible. You guys are TRBL terrible. Maybe. I just had to answer a text real quick. Maybe. So who's taking the +4 for Arizona? Oh, ye of little faith. Oh, CCRR, you leaking over your Dolphins lack of faith in the Dolphins over to the Hurricanes? Don't be doing that, man. Thank you, Game Boy, for reminding everybody. Hit the like button. As long as them likes keep growing, I'll keep finding something to talk about. We got 3 more since the last time I told you how many likes we had. It's terrible. Just absolutely terrible. Guys are killing me. You're hyping up the Seminoles, not hitting the like button, no donations. You guys are terrible, man. Just terrible. Man, I'm sorry. There's no way that referee didn't have a pure line of sight to that face mask last night. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. That's almost as bad as that safety hitting the Rams player. Hmm. Oh, Jesus. So, Barry Jackson is tweeting out, Sealer screamed when it happened, when he got poked in the eye, understandably. Liam, who is close with Sealer, said it wasn't him. So there you go, Batman. It wasn't Liam Eichenberg. Hmm. Ay, 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 ay. Let's see here. Nothing going on. Nothing at all. It's a dead day. Every bit of news today is about Tua and his long road out of concussion and whatever else. And I'm just so sick of hearing about it all. I really am. Kevin, yeah, there's actually a chance that Miami scores over 30 on Sunday. It's going to simply be dependent on whether, whether we can get back to what we were doing last year as far as the results. That's going to require obviously doing different things than we did last year, but I'm not sure that we've gotten a chance to see quite all of the changes that may have been implemented because apparently our backups didn't get the memo and weren't privy to all the new stuff we were trying to implement this year, which we have yet to see, which is the reason we struggled against Jacksonville and Buffalo before Tua got injured. I'm guessing. But if all that stuff gets fixed and we fix our execution problems on offense, there should be no reason we can't score over 30. None whatsoever. It's really the question you're asking is, do I think we're going to fix our shit? And I just don't know. I'll tell you what, Cosa Nostra. I'll let Tua answer that for you, since you missed it the first time around. Let me just pull a couple levers here, and I can pull it up for you. Oh, I found it. Look at this. Oh, I see what you're saying, Cosa Nostra. When do I think? I mean, again, knowing what I know, which is very little, about concussions, what Tua said could be true. Could have been 5 minutes later. Could have been 2 weeks. But he says it was just about after that night. So I don't have any reason to not believe him. But we had already decided to put him on injured reserve by then, so it didn't matter. And in order to excuse themselves for making that mistake, they want to drag out this concussion like it was actually a 4 or 5 week long thing. And to me, Tua, along with his body language, all but confirm that and say, yeah, this is nothing I wanted to do for the last 4 weeks. I wanted to play. I mean, he could be talking out of both sides of his mouth. I don't know, but well, I want to play, but I don't want to risk my life. I want to make sure it's okay to come back. I don't know. None of that sounds like what he said. Sounded like what he said was everybody else wanted him to do all this. He just wanted to play. And bless his heart, even though I don't believe in his play, I want the man to play if that's what he wants to do. He's our starting quarterback. I want him to have a chance to prove me wrong. It wasn't looking good. I mean, Buffalo, you know, but we don't know what he could have done with what they've changed in the growth, if he's had any over the offseason. We don't know how that could have played out over the last 4 games, no matter how bad Buffalo looked. So the next game on our schedule for him, as I keep saying, is Arizona. And that's, that's where we're at now. Tua had a terrible game against Buffalo. We lost. And now he's playing against Arizona. Does he fix all that? Do we fix all that? Well, his team has had a whole 4 games without him to work on that, without the pressure, obviously, of winning. Maybe that was a coaching strategy. Maybe what I'm pointing out and having a problem with, maybe that was a coaching strategy. Sure is dangerous to be using your season record to do that. But if it was causing us to lose games anyway, then what's the difference? We certainly don't want to do that and get in that habit with Tua. We're already in that habit with him. So obviously there's other stuff that they need to say, you know what, forget about him. He ain't going to do it for you. He can't do it for you right now. So, yeah, there's that. Now he's back and everybody, oh, he's going to do it all. No. I mean, what are they going to do? Take a big old breather? Oh, finally, we don't have to watch our P's and Q's anymore because Tua is going to make it all up. Really? Nah. That ain't going to win you shit. Tua has never been that guy. Oh, I see I see that mud bone. That might be. I mean, hey, and he played bad in Buffalo, so the IR forcing him to IR may have been all kinds of reasons that all come together to make sense. You know, we want to bench him, but we don't want to bench him. We want him to see it from the sideline without saying we want him to see it from the sideline. You know, because there is benefit to that. And you know they're not going to be able to smooth that over to the fans. But hey, if it benefited him, we're going to find out Sunday. And if it did, then what do I care? It's game on for the rest of the year. You know what I mean? I would hope so, Game Boy. It wasn't looking like that against Jacksonville and Buffalo, but that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that, look, Jacksonville, you could say, as I pointed out, when we're talking about getting the ball out to more tertiary receivers like the tight ends and all that, we actually were trying. They were just dropping the ball. So I can't fault Tua for that. I can't fault McDaniel. We were actually doing some of the things that we expected them to start picking up against Jacksonville. Our tight ends just weren't coming through that day. But the evidence is there that we are expanding our offense a little bit. Then you enter Buffalo. You know, you go against Buffalo, and it's like we didn't even show up that night. So right back to the old we don't show up bullshit against good teams. Now, I mean, that's a valid thing. We witnessed it firsthand. Fast forward, Tua is available again. Offense is intact. Here's Arizona. We'll see what happens. Agreed. That's all of the stuff you're pointing out, Game Boy, is the stuff that keeps the shred of hope. A couple of games could be an outlier. We have more of a sample size of higher productive with Tua. Sure. The 11 game is against subpar teams. Okay, fine. And that's perfectly valid too. Just as well as it's valid, our defense is valid, even though we played subpar offenses so far. Our defense didn't have nothing to do with giving Buffalo a short field and a pick six. Our defense didn't have nothing to do with that. That's potentially three scores you could take away from our defense. Would their offense have found a way to get one or two of those back? Maybe. But they wouldn't have had as much time to. The offense just needs to do what they need to do to help the defense keep Kyler Murray off the field. That's the key to winning this game. That's the key to winning every game. We're either going to start doing that or we're not. If we don't, the season's over. If we do, then we have to hope we do it next week against Buffalo. And then the week after that. That's football. We took a huge hit. Like Anthony Weaver said, we took a huge hit. How are we going to respond to that? Well, if we close it up, we close it up. That's what we're going to do this week. Because this week will be 3 games in a row that are embarrassing. Tua can't survive that. Let it be, Jose. I think that's at which point that you'll realize a change in me And you'll be like, you know what? Who cares about all those other people, bro? They're all going to, you're right. They're all going to end up saying that. You're right. It's one time will be the next narrative. I get it. I'm trying to help you all not have to spend calories on those people, bro. I can be some of them people sometimes, but you don't hear me saying that after, you're not going to hear me saying that if Tua lights up the Bills, bro. That's just common sense. What I don't do is I don't say that Tua is going to do that. That's what I'm trying to help you all with, that are willing to. Tua is definitely going to do that. Well, what evidence do you have of that? Let's be real. As long as I'm being real, let's all be real. If he does, I'm certainly going to be like, wow, finally. Okay, now we know he can. Now nobody else can say, oh, he can't do it, because he did it. They can say, well, he only did it once. Once is all it takes to know you can. When you first figured out how to ride a bike and you're like, I can do it. You didn't go back to not knowing how to ride a bike. Somebody didn't say to you, oh, well, that was only one time. No, you just kept riding a bike. 10 years goes by, you forgot you ever did know how to ride a bike. But if you're sitting there falling over and over and over again, how are you going to be like, well, you'll get it eventually? No, some people never figure it out. Some people literally go their whole lives without ever figuring out how to ride a bike. And now that we have electric bikes and scooters, they're not going to have to. I understand why too, CCRR. So that's, I fully understand why. But as far as Cosa Nostra's concerns about the goalpost getting moved, anybody that's still in on the team, like I would just discount you, CCRR, and say, well, he has his beliefs. You wouldn't be the one I'm talking to. You know what I mean? You're making it clear now, which means that we understand that. But these other people coming along saying, oh, one more game, oh, he's got to do it again. Well, look, no, that type of person just doesn't want to admit they're out on the season and out on the future. You know what I mean? But if somebody's saying, I'm in on the future with Tua, but he's only done that one time, that's disingenuous, bro. It only takes one time. For the people that would be convinced after one time, it only takes one time. And I'd probably still be out on it for the future simply because of the injury concern at that point. But right now, I'm not one of those injury-only people. I'm like you, CCRR. It's not just injury. Now that he's not injured, I'm going to need to see him improve. Still, that's not off the table all of a sudden. All this talk about him, oh, see the difference he makes? Nah, that's all hype. That's all propaganda. I don't see the difference he makes. Okay, if you're talking about elevating us to mediocrity, then yeah, he makes a difference. Beyond that, I haven't seen any evidence beyond that. None. If I do see evidence of it, a la he destroys Buffalo next week, then I have to be fair and say, okay, that's been done. I can no longer say there's no evidence of that. That doesn't mean I'm back in on him. It just means that I can't say he can't do it. I can't. There's evidence now that, you understand what I'm saying. I don't need to keep dragging it out. Some of his fans are too, Fred. That's beyond this year is not what I'm here to talk about. That will happen the next time we get embarrassed. If it's this weekend, that's what we're going to be talking about Monday, because there is no sense in even hoping with Tua beyond that for the rest of this season. If he can't beat Arizona, he's not going to go on an 8-3 run. And by then now it'll have to be a 6-4 run. Or I'm sorry, a 8-2 run. That ain't happening if we don't beat Arizona. I should say, that ain't happening if we get embarrassed by Arizona. But all we can do is wait it out and see. That's why the games have to be played. There's no way around it. I know y'all are going to hate me, but I got to get off this thing. We're at 2.5 hours now, and I'm starting to get exhausted. I got to save some energy for Sunday. It's going to be a big day. Fan week. I'm likely going to have to walk for miles to get to my seat. It's the nature of the beast. Especially when people tell you they're going to hook you up with a parking pass. And that hadn't happened yet. Even after you offer money for it, when I could have already just bought one. And now they're getting more expensive the longer I wait. Yeah, that person's going to find out that that's not how you respect color. We'll see what happens with that. Because I didn't need the offer. It was brought to me. And so I don't appreciate that kind of thing. You have to buy one, Mudbone, from Vivid Seats. Ticketmaster doesn't even sell them. I know, it's sick. No, we made some roster moves. I can report to you. Dolphins announced they have signed wide receiver D. Eskridge to the active roster off their practice squad and placed quarterback Tyler Huntley on the injured reserve list. Additionally, the team signed defensive tackle Matt Dickerson to the practice squad. We all know Eskridge from preseason, in his fourth NFL season, and has appeared in 26 career games with the Seahawks and Miami. He's recorded 18 receptions for $152 and 1 touchdown, while contributing 456 yards on 18 kickoff returns. So he can do some kickoff returning too. We might elevate him for that purpose. We'll see. Nothing groundbreaking there. So let's see here. Do we have a transfer notice waiting for me in my Dolphins account, hopefully? Nope. There you go. No, there's actually no waiting list for that, Mudbone. They just, first-time season ticket holders do not have the opportunity to buy them in advance. Gray is the only thing we're offered. And Gray, the closest Gray parking has you walking for about 5 miles in the blazing sun at a snail's pace, because the outside sidewalk down the city street is shoulder to shoulder with people walking back to their cars. Yep, that's what you got to go through as a season ticket holder, a club member. because they don't want to take my money for a yellow parking pass that sits empty. Because yellow parking is not full at any game. Fortunately, Ms. Relentless, y'all might recognize her from chat. She hooked me up with like 4 passes for the rest of my games. I just don't have one for this game. So I'm taken care of for the rest of the season. I just got to find one for Sunday. And the cheapest one they have on Vivid Seats right now is $75. When I've already paid for a gray pass. And the tickets to the game are only $40. Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to pay $75, yeah, they're easy to get. I'm thinking about staying home. You know, we do need somebody to call the game Sunday on YouTube. So maybe I'll stay home. Not give them my time of day. Not buy $12 sodas and $10 hot dogs and $13 slices of pizza. Maybe I won't do that. No, I ain't gonna pay Uber. Why am I gonna pay more money to get to them, dude? Like, seriously. If I wanted to park at Walmart, Game Boy, I would just park in my gray spot. And then you got to sit there when you do get back to your parking spot because there's only one way to get out of the fenced area. No, it doesn't beat that CCR. Nothing beats sitting on the couch in my AC watching the TV. Nothing beats that. That's my point. Maybe I'll just stay home. Save the money. And people wonder why I bet against the team. Got to get some of the money back. I mean, I hate to sound like like all negative and all that, but this is what they've done. I didn't ask for this. I wanted to be part of the club. You know, the fan club. And this is what you get. This is how they treat their members. A Buffalo fan on any given week that bought his ticket a la carte is treated better than I am by this organization. That's right. Why do you think they come to our games? So if y'all like that, if y'all are cool with that, that's what's going on. Buffalo fans get treated better than club members. I got an email on Monday, 4 days ago. Thank you for your support. Open your gift. From the Miami Dolphins, your 2024 season ticket member gift is here. Oh, no, that's not the email I wanted to read. I'm sorry. Let me scroll back up. There it is. Miami Dolphins. Your invite awaits. The 2024 Miami Dolphins member picnic presented by Pepsi. Opens up to a nice graphic. Dad and his kids sitting there on the grass. 2024 member picnic presented by Pepsi. As a Dolphins membership benefit, you are cordially invited to the 2024 member picnic presented by Pepsi. Join fellow season ticket members on the field at Hard Rock Stadium to watch the Dolphins face the Bills in Buffalo on the big screen. Hard Rock Stadium, November 3rd. Gates open 12 p.m. Kickoff 1 p.m. Claim your complimentary tickets by Wednesday, October 30th. What's today? The 25th. Rhetorical question. And I told you I don't use email very much. So my email is like full of spam and full of like unread messages and all that. But I check it every now and then. So when I see new messages like this, I'm usually about a couple days behind. Well, I'm thinking, okay, it's only been 4 days. I just got this email Monday, right? Well, it has a link. I want to attend. All right, so I click the link. Let's see if anything's changed. Maybe I'll get made out to be a fool here. Oh, here's the page. Look, logs me into my account. Claim your member picnic on-field tickets. Oh, there they are. So it must have just been in delay. So it took them 4 days. See, I can still find a reason to bitch. Don't think just because I can claim them now, which I couldn't all morning. I clicked on this link and it said event not listed, telling me I can claim up to 4, but there's no event to actually choose them on. So I thought that I missed out. Well, now right with you guys here live, it looks like it's opened up for me to claim the tickets finally. Now you might say, Culler, see, you were making a mountain out of a molehill, right? Except that I'm not, because again, when you're talking about sending me an email on Monday, what am I to expect 4 days later that I can't pick any? Am I to expect that the $1,800 for 2 tickets that people pay for season tickets, that's not enough to have a better programming team to make sure the shit's working when you send the email? 4 days it took them to make this thing live and active for us to get them. In which I just have claimed 4 of them. Locked into my account. Thank you, Dolphins. I appreciate the opportunity to go watch the Bills kick our ass while sitting on the grass at Hard Rock. Picnic. Are we allowed to bring picnic baskets? Are we allowed to bring in our own food and drink? Or is picnic one of those words that we just use whenever we want to now, and it really doesn't mean anything anymore? Because I'd rather not have to buy a $13 slice of pizza to have a picnic. I like your enthusiasm, Kevin. I want to be like that. I want to just be like, F it. You know what I mean? We're going to kick Buffalo's ass. The way they're hyping this up, we get an away game at Hard Rock. We've been begging for that. And they do it for Buffalo. a game we're likely going to lose. So now we all get to find out what each other looks like while we're sitting there watching us lose on TV. I might be off a little on the price, Mudbone, but it's over $10, and it is a pretty good big slice of pizza. I won't lie. It's like 2 slices of Sicilian from Little Caesars. So like it's half of a 4 square Sicilian. You know what I mean? Not that bad, and it is good. It's fresh and good and all that. But geez. And you do get a member discount if you scan your phone, which that thing never works. So instead of like being that guy, you end up just paying the, non-member price and walking away. I don't personally, Joe, but I think Ali will still be doing his thing. We haven't heard from Ali because he had a family issue he's tending to for the whole week. I do see the show scheduled for tomorrow night, Club Exhale. So we'll be able to find out what he's doing. Plus, El Capitan, the person he's riding with, has a black parking pass. So we may be setting something up over there. We're trying to work out the details on that, but I'm sure there'll be some way, if you're talking about a cooler or something or a grill to cook on, then I'm sure we'll find we'll be able to accommodate in some way. That'd be funny, Ms. Relentless. Because members get 4 tickets. I just claimed 4 of them. So there's going to be people that are giving them away and whatever else. I wonder how many Buffalo fans are going to show up on the grass at Hard Rock to watch that game. That would be terrible. From what I understand, it's down on the field. So they're not expecting like a large amount of people like that we would need to use the stadium seats for. They're saying down on the field. That's going to be cool, though, because, man, I haven't smelled good football grass in a long time. I haven't felt that nice, soft prescription athletic turf on my feet and my knees. Oh, it's so nice to walk on. It makes your knees feel better. Oh, it's great. Sometimes I just like walking on a football field. Head to your local high school and just walk up and down the field. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's the best grass on the planet, even the fake ones. 4 tickets, Mudbone, to the exclusive member picnic presented by Pepsi next week at Hard Rock. We are going to be allowed to go down on the grass and have a picnic while we watch the Buffalo game on the Jumbotron. So basically like a home away game, you know what I mean? Like come sit on the couch at Hard Rock and watch the Jumbotron. I mean, I've never done anything like that before. It ought to be pretty cool watching it on a big TV like that. I almost want to go just for that. Too bad there'll be people there. If I could be alone sitting in the middle of that field watching on the Jumbotron, that would be the shit right there. You think so, Context? Come on. Well, why don't you come, Context? I'll give you one of my tickets. Why don't you help fill the void? So far, Context, the tickets are only available to members. So we would hope that members don't give them to Buffalo fans, but you know it's going to happen. I guarantee you there's going to be some Buffalo fans on the field, which is really disgusting because their feet shouldn't be allowed to touch our grass. Somebody get Mudbone some empanadas. Oh, that's a shame. Up in Georgia area, maybe North Florida. Well, if you feel like coming down, just let me know sometime next week. I'll send you a ticket. You got to have a Dolphins app for me to do that, though. Right on. Maybe if Cap decides to come down, you could ride with him. But he barely got permission to come down to this week's game. Hit the like button, everybody. We're almost at 3 hours. I'm going to shut it down at 3 hours. We got 5 minutes because guess what? We've only got about 55 minutes left before the drive time and Shake Money and the open panel. So I'll probably join the panel, so you'll be able to hear me. For those that it's all about my voice for, I know there's a few of you. I appreciate that. And yes, I am trying to pat myself on the back. I very rarely get to do that in life, so I'm taking it. But yeah, drive time, G, coming up at 7 o'clock sharp. Well, I don't know how sharp it is. Shake's sharper than me. I've been like 5-10 minutes late every show for the last 10 shows at least. I got to clean that up, you know. Me and the Dolphins offense got something in common. We got things to clean up. What's up, CB83? You heard that, CB83? We got a picnic next week at Hard Rock. A member picnic presented by Pepsi. I'm pretty sure I have to say presented by Pepsi. Or maybe the Dolphins will come knocking the door at me. Hey, man. Griping. But yeah, apparently we're going to be able to go sit on the grass and watch the Jumbotron, watch the Bills beat us on the Jumbotron. Miss Fins, what's up? Where y'all been? Y'all been sitting there watching Reason this whole time? Are you kidding me? Wow, you guys are bad. Terrible. I got the most terrible audience on the planet. Just bad fans y'all are. Huh. Bad, bad, bad. Hit the like button and make me feel better. Yeah, how dare I be late, Miss Fins, right? It's become my new shtick. I'm trying to get everybody, throwing them watches up in the chat. So what do you think, Miss Fins? I don't know if you voted in the poll or not. How do you enjoy color? In the morning with coffee or afternoon color commentary? Or should I beg Stephen D to come back in the mornings? That was the poll for today. But yeah, CB83. So we're going to get to go chill at Hard Rock to watch a game next week. Like on the field, apparently. I believe that when I see it. But no, but he didn't, Jose. He didn't. He did for a second, but he's back on the train. Miss Finn says, beg Stephen D. We actually got Stephen D to come by today, Miss Fins. He jumped in and said hi. It's not long. It don't take long talking about anybody in this community without them showing up. It's like we're all Beetlejuice here. I think, Miss Fins, it may be just that's the way, because look, I think a lot of people, it's just the timing is right for a lot more people. If I were to start up at like 1 every day and go for the whole afternoon. And then just, if I can go earlier, I'll go earlier. Yeah, they do. They do, CB. They certainly do. Shake Monet showing up. Saw you earlier, Shake. I was just telling everybody that I'm going to shut it down here right at the 3-hour mark, but they will be able to catch you in 53 minutes now with the drive time. Talking about all that is the Miami Dolphins. And of course, if you missed Shake and Crypto's pick'ems for this week, you can go check out Insomnia that dropped last night. overnight and find out how crazy their picks are. And you can also check out Ali tomorrow night, Club XL. If he doesn't end up showing up or whatever, canceling, we'll probably do something anyway. And tonight on the drive time and probably on XL, one or the other or both, I'll be definitely talking about the bets I'm putting in this week. Got a few interesting, like kind of some easy ways to set up a parlay this week because things are becoming a lot more clear in the NFL. As the weeks go on, it's getting a lot easier to pick who the sure losses are, the sure people that are going to cover the spread. The spreads are getting a little easier to pick. So I'll be talking about that a little bit going forward. Couple prop bets. You know, we all like to talk about that kind of stuff around here. So plenty of that. I tend to agree. And that's all I'll say. Those who know, know. Hey, but let's do all we can. We only have hope left. We're a bunch of delusional, delirious Dolphin fans. We ain't no different. But I ain't no Dallas fan. So if we go 2-5, we ain't talking Super Bowl. I'm sorry. It just ain't happening. But we can't lose to Kyler Murray. Come on, people. Get it done. Let's hope the team shows up this week because that's all we need to do. That being said, everybody have a great evening. See you in a little bit. Fins up. Oops. The breaking news is that the show's over.